Well, the first thing I just want to show this play, and I'm going to take you back to the beginning. I stuck 3 plays together from huddle, and so if it was clear, what you would see is a holding that occurs behind the line of scrimmage. It's right in this area. It's a no doubter. Umpire had it. The wing had it, and I like the fact that this near wing, the line judge, is not ball watching, because if there's no threat to the football here, the quarterback, I think, hands off the ball. But if there's no threat to the ball, our eyes should not be watching ball carrier. And so we've got umpire throw a flag on the hold. We've actually got the wing seeing it as well through this. Sometimes the umpire has too much traffic, but he picks this one up. And so we've got a foul. Ball carrier advances to the 19, let's say. Line to gain was the 15. So we've got a foul. It was a 4th down play. Got a foul. After the play, and we don't see it on film, but we're going to see the defense is red. After the play, at the pile, we're going to see an aggressive act by number 10 right there underneath the pile. He's going to come up pushing and shoving. So we've got a dead ball foul after this play is over. And so what I wanted to show is the importance of understanding live ball, dead ball. And in this case, Team B will decline the penalty for holding. Otherwise, and I'll let Gilman show it to you. So the holding is going to be declined by the defense in order to gain possession. Oh, it looks like he must have run his mouth. So the unsportsmanlike conduct was enforced on the defense. So we're going to go half the distance to the goal and set up first down for B, who now becomes A, half the distance to the goal from the end of that last run. And I just show that because I've seen some communication come through in the past about that there was that a dead ball foul should keep possession of A, and that's just not true. So know the difference between the status of the football. Usery, you want to add any more to that? Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it is, Kirk. I think that is. Just know the status.
Know the status. Okay, I'm going to jump down to – actually, let's before I do that, let's see. I didn't write down what this play is. Let's see if it's crisp enough. I think what I'm looking for here as a back judge, so once this ball is completed, the back judge has the goal line. Let's start this over. The ball is snapped at the 15-yard line. Back judge is going to have goal line and end line. And so once this pass is complete in the field of play, which is right now, the back judge should move up to the goal line, right? Because there's no more threat to the end line. And it just seems like maybe he was flat foot at the back of the end zone. If anything, he should have probably been closer to the middle of the goal line at the snap, so that he is.
Where was the ball snap from, Kurt?
The 15. Ball snap from the 15. I'll take it back.
And our mechanic is when it's snapped at the 15, the back judge stands where?
Middle of the end zone.
Yeah, I think he started out probably in the back.
Might have started out at the back, and that isn't a complete failure. It's just the recognition of when that goal line or when the end line is no longer a threat. And to me, that is right now when that ball is caught.
So we all know that the money line is the goal line, so that's the line we got to officiate.
The money line is the goal line. And actually, in this case, there are 2 money lines. Last week we talked about 2 money lines. In this case, the line to gain is a money line. However, I believe the down is first down, or maybe now it does say in third down. So there is a threat. That line to gain is an important line when it's third down, because the next down is either going to have to be a field goal or they're going to have to go for it. So on third and fourth down, when we've got a stake that close to the goal line, we need to be aware of where that is.
Hey, Kirk, Mike Kelly's available now.
Very good. So the issue here is right at this point, we don't have a really good line on the goal line. He ends up getting in. Back judge is there. Okay. Let me unmute Mike. I told Mike I would allow him to correct something we said last night.
Last night? Saturday
night? Wednesday night. Sorry, Wednesday night. Mike Kelly. This should be easier than I'm making it. Sorry. Mike, are you, Mike Kelly, are you unmiked? Nope. Now you're And that will do it.
Speak up, Mike.
My problem is my window is not showing the full names.
I can't unmute him, can I, Kurt?
We may just not be able to get his corrections set up here. All right, we're going to keep going.
Hey, so one question on this back judge play, Terrence.
Yeah.
You know, it looks like that back judge could have, you know, what's the best angle? Because if he got there sooner, then was he going to get involved with interfering with the players trying to make the tackle? How do you work your way around that?
With this play. I think the key with this is whole play recognition, first of all. But it looks like he's almost at the end line initially. But the whole problem with this play, I mean, you got to think safety as well. Because if you start moving up, if you recognize this play late, you start moving up, you're right in the middle of the traffic. I mean, you're going to get run over. So, I mean, the only other thing I would think, I mean, you got to recognize pass run. Like Kurt, you mentioned, once the pass is caught in the field of play, I mean, you try to bust your butt to get up there. But, I mean, there's a lot of traffic. If he starts running up there trying to get in the goal line, he's right in the middle of the play. So, two questions. From a line of scrimmage standpoint, we're snapped from the 15. Neither one of these line of scrimmage guys are going to be able to get to the goal line, right? And this is all back judge ruling on touchdown, or
it is
all a question.
It's all back judge. Yeah, it's all back judge, and obviously, you know, you got other eyes on the ball as the wings are moving down, but it is the back judge's responsibility in this case. Tough coverage, no doubt.
I just think the first problem with this play, it looks like we're more towards the end line initially before he starts moving. Like right now, I think he's at the end line right now, and he doesn't start moving up until that guy's getting ready to break the plane. But if you recognize this play faster, I would just loop more around away from the players and try to get as wide as I can into the goal line. But see how late he started coming up? But there is a lot of traffic. I would say, I mean, this is a tough play. If you recognize the play late and you don't read this fast enough, you're going to be in trouble. So he actually probably did the best thing he could do, reading the play late, because if not, he's going to get hit, you know?
Yeah.
So I would just say we all got to work on reading run or pass, caught in the field of play. Let's recognize and get up faster. But I would loop more around than come straight towards the goal line, because you're going to run right into players.
So I think, Terrence, you're saying that if the back judge would have maybe, if he read this earlier and got to this point, maybe moving against the grain away from where this runner's moving here, it might have helped.
Yeah, don't make a straight line to the goal line. I would just
Yeah.
kind of loop more around, almost kind of like let's just
Banana.
take like a play where you kind of go away from the action and just try to bow around and get to the goal line as soon as you can, but don't come straight up.
All right, let's go to the next one.
Okay, so again, I don't have a title on this.
Got a fumble here and out of bounds.
So let's see how we started this play. I think the early comment I had was, let's focus right here. See number 45?
Yes.
Watch his block. Hands on the back. And it may be too blurry for you guys to see. Hands on the back, not a big influence on the tackler, would-be tackler. I don't know if we have enough.
Let's just say if this was a foul, I don't think it's enough to call a block in the back, but if it was, who has eyes on that?
Should be this line judge here, the near wing official.
So he's the only one at all. I mean, he's the only one that can see that or have a look at that. The referee, I mean, there's no chance at all, right?
We got another one here. Maybe this is the suspect that I had earlier as well. Just seems like we've got possible block in the back right here too.
No, he's going down already. So when in doubt, guys, it's not a foul.
And I think the prime message here that I wanted to convey, I wish I had my notes here, is this block starts legal. And I think we say that if he maintains the block, he can convert that from a side to the back without any complications.
Let's let him play through and see what the fumble, if there was a flag that came out on the play, Kurt. We know the fumble came out.
Yeah, I don't believe there was a flag on that.
Okay.
This is the same play again live. Again, the image might just be too blurry for everybody to really get a good read on this. But the coverage is good.
I think the next clip will show. I looked at this play too. No, it's not the one. But anyway, that's a suspect right there.
This flag.
No,
So we've got a flag out by the white hat.
At the block, is there a block in the back there?
I think he gets this block or a hold or a block in the back right here. I think he calls it a hold. Again, this video is not clear enough to really question these. I think we've got to get back to some of this Regis stuff after this play. But the coach, I think I got this play from a coach. He did not like that call.
But we don't know what the call is. Oh, the referee's throwing the flag.
Yeah, the referee threw the flag. Okay, I'm gonna move us up to these Regis clips that have some notes on it. And
Go ahead, Kurt. Go ahead.
Just say what I wanted to emphasize on this play is noticing that the wing, we have a fumble. We'll see at the sideline view here. I see this a lot where the fumble is recovered and the wing official then throws a beanbag. my comment is after the ball is recovered and the player is down, there is no beanbag needed or necessary, or really it actually doesn't make any sense, because the beanbag is used to enforce a penalty at the end of the run. So throwing a beanbag after the ball is recovered has no significance and no value. And so that's what I wanted to emphasize.
Well, I agree with you, Kurt, but I think we should just always be in the habit. That way we don't lose that habit of putting the beanbag down. I have
fair.
I have no problem with that beanbag going down. I just think it's something we should always be in the habit of doing.
And that's fair. I'm not saying that, and I agree with you. I think if you were to stop throwing a beanbag when the player was down and it caused you to not throw a beanbag when you had a fumble, I think that would be a problem. I just want people to understand why they're throwing a beanbag. It's not because they thought there was a fumble versus a non-fumble. It is a spot of foul enforcement, which is why we don't need to beanbag behind the line of scrimmage. And I think, Mark, your comment would be valid there as well, that you're just used to throwing a beanbag as a referee on any fumble, whether it's used as a spot of enforcement or not. It indicates a fumble in your beanbag tossing, right?
Yep.
Okay, so next, and this because of our image is not going to be as beneficial, but my comment had to do with hard count and what we should be thinking in terms of, and maybe this isn't the best play for the hard count, but I think his offensive back actually jumped.
Yeah.
In a previous down. This quarterback was aggressively clapping his hands. And my comment is, I want to make sure that if we have a quarterback that's making abrupt movements and it draws the defense in, very similar to a quick shift, we should not hang that on the defense if the quarterback's intent is to try to draw the defense off. You got anything more with that, Mark?
No, that running back obviously was not going in motion. He just blew the count.
Yeah, there's a no doubt. Shut that down. I agree. Okay,
So
this one.
Take the running back out of that play, and
Okay.
just the action of the quarterback. Is that enough for a false start?
No, not a false start. And I'm not sure that this necessarily. There's another play, I think, in this series that he really aggressively is clapping his hand with the intent to draw the defense off. And in my opinion, if he does not draw the defense into the neutral zone, it's not a false start. If he affects the defense because of his aggressive clapping and shoulder head movement, then we don't want to hang that on the defense. That is a false start on the offense. So leave it alone unless you deem caused the feigning of a snap that would cause the defense to jump off sides. Very similar to we talk about the team coming up on third down or fourth down and quick shifting from a 2-point stance to a 3-point stance. We don't want to hang that on the defense. That is deemed a false start.
Okay, let's see what's next. Same play, different play.
So this what I like, or what I wanted to talk about on this play is you'll watch the near wing have a catch right in front of him and then a tackle out of bounds. And we talked last night about how I keep saying last Wednesday about whether we want to keep the clock running or kill it. And we all know that if you have forward progress in bounds, we want to let the clock run, not stop it. And we do so by winding our one arm as a wing, signaling to the other wing official that I've got forward progress stopped in bounds and could use some assistance. So that far wing if our near wing were to signal, I've got him tackled in bounds, the far wing could help with that forward progress spot if it was near the line to gain, because that angle from this far official is better, especially if he were to have moved up during this pass and he was standing about right in this area. He gets a pretty good line. He can move up, put his feet where he sees the forward progress spot. If this wing official were to signal, he's got progress in bounds. In this case, he chooses to stop the clock. I think we want to try to keep the clock running when in doubt. Last Wednesday, we talked about if the runner, if it's towards the end of the half or end of the game and the clock is an issue, that when that runner is, even though his forward progress might be stopped in bounds and he is trying to get to the sideline to get out of bounds, my philosophy is we award him his effort to get out of bounds, even though he may have been deemed to have forward progress stopped in bounds. A lot wrapped up into that statement. Any comments, Mark?
No, when in doubt, he's in bounds.
When in doubt, he's in bounds. Agree. This is a comment about ball boys, and I know that it's a challenge on every field with ball boys. One of the things that we should, and this isn't really bad, it just is a comment I'd like to make. See this near a wing official taking his eyes off the field of play to get a ball. This ball boy looks like he's very attentive to the game and right there, ready to give this wing official the football. That is awesome. And the wing official actually puts his eyes back on the field of play real quick after getting the ball. I think that all is good stuff. My emphasis here is you wing officials, keep those ball boys engaged as much as you can to minimize taking your eyes off the field. Get that ball and then eyes on the field.
I think, Kirk, the last thing we should look at is the ball boy. We got to keep our eyes on the field first.
I would agree.
I think my concern here is he's looking for the ball too quickly. It may, if you have more clips, it may show a tendency down the road that he's looking for the ball. And I like the fact that he may have coached up that ball boy a lot. That's a good deal, but there's no hurry to get that ball back in. Let's make sure everything's done first.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think the eyes over here.
Just slow down a little bit.
Having eyes on mixed colors, always good. Okay, this one I might want some help from Mark, you and Terrence on. So this is a long play. We're going to have a left-handed quarterback pass deep down the sideline. It ends up incomplete because it was thrown out of bounds, but it's at the pylon. If he catches this, if this ball would have been thrown better, I don't know that the spot is critical unless it's a goal line action, pylon action. And so this is just another tough play when you've got that far to go and your wing official is probably a long ways from this ruling on catch, no catch. Back judge is in great position by this point in time. We talk about our wing officials not going downfield so far immediately. We don't want them to go downfield until they read pass. And then when they move downfield after they read pass, we don't look for them to make that 6-7 yard quick burst. But this is the kind of play that puts that situation at risk. You guys have any thoughts? Let me take it back and replay it again. Actually, let me take it to the sideline view, give you a frame of reference. Try it again. Sorry. Dang it.
It's okay. So I guess one of the things I'm seeing on this play, Kurt, and to the rest of them, I think as soon as I think the wing judge stayed on that too long. He should have turned a little bit quicker. At least he could get his eyes down the field. You know, Um, that's my only comment. Terrence, do you see anything different that could help out on that play?
No, no. I mean, he's just going to be responsible for if the guy's inbounds or not, right? I mean, that's his
Yeah,
only look that he'll
that's his
have.
only look.
He can't help it out all with the pilot or anything.
I mean, once
Yeah.
So I would just say the line of scrimmage guy, just make sure the guy's inbounds, and the back judge. I mean, the only thing you could kind of do a little different on this. I mean, I just always call it speed management. Just know where you are on the field, and maybe just slow down just a little bit when you get towards that goal line. And it's just kind of a feel that you get. But I don't have a problem with this play. This is a tough play when you're working 5 minutes.
I think the back judge.
You got any other mark on?
I play it further down the video, Kirk. Keep playing it now.
That's pretty blurry for you guys.
Yeah, that's just a tough thing all the way around.
But I will tell you that
Yeah,
the wing does not take his eyes off the quarterback until right here. I think that's probably one of the breakdowns. Again, we see a lot. Our wings should read pass and start sliding in pass coverage. Once we clear that pass away, forward, backward, pass away. But then I think once we do that, our eyes have got to get into coverage instead of watching the quarterback. And I think this head linesman doesn't take his eyes off the quarterback until right now. And that ball is about 15 yards downfield real quick. And now it's 35 yards downfield.
Okay, what do we got next?
Okay, this one, point of emphasis we had last year or 2 years ago. This is a hurry-up offense situation. So the Regis obviously is in a hurry to snap the ball. You can see the chains are still moving. And this umpire does a great job setting the ball, getting in position. And we want to continue that. I think we did better last year. And this umpire sets the ball down. The white hat winds the clock. We don't have to have chains in position. They'll get there. Regis is ready to go. They snap the ball. Chains are still moving. That's all fine. Turns out that B intercepts the ball on the play. But the point is, let Team A dictate the tempo. And I think I bring this up because I was watching a little bit of game film where the umpire did the old school, stood over the ball, gives the play down to the wing officials before he moves in position. So this great job by this umpire getting the ball set. We're going to see a long run here. You see what my I wanted to start with this block. You'll see up around the 40 right here. We always talk about when it comes to holding, body position is the critical piece. And we've got, if you could see it and it wasn't blurry, you've got the white team on offense, and that blocker he has the right body position on the defense. It's probably a critical block. We got wing coming downfield. We talk about how when the spot is critical and when it's not. This spot is not a critical spot. Having our eyes up, watching players do some stupid stuff out of bounds would be more important. Just get your feet to where you think the spot is. Nobody's going to argue with it. They just gain 35 yards on the play. Anything from you guys or that you see on that you want to look at?
No, the back judge can help. The back judge can help as far as dead ball in that too. Just keep eyes once the play's over. Keep officiating.
This is the same long run. We'll see probably the back judge, as Terrence mentioned. So this is the block that I was focused on right here. Great position.
And so, Kurt, who has the look at that? Is that the wing and the back judge on that block, or who's watching? Who has eyes on that?
So we've got a runner that has no threat. There's no threat to the ball carrier. I think our wing's eyes can be on that, but certainly the back judge has the same. I think they're both looking at that.
So
But we
how
have
about
two,
that
we have
how
two
about
sets
that
of eyes,
umpire?
right?
How about that umpire, Kurt?
He's not doing a lot either.
He's looking at it.
But the best look is probably what back judge and wing, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, the umpire, he is free, but he's looking more at the defender. He's looking through the defender, watching the wide receiver. So I think the wing and the back judge had the best look.
So our wing is going to be looking in this traffic right here for holding. Same with our umpire. So it really isn't until the runner clears that his eyes can shift from no threat to the ball carrier to what's ahead of the ball carrier. Probably the same
Because
with the
initially at
umpire.
the snap, right, the back judge has that widest guy. Is that what we do mechanic wise?
Yeah, let's see here. So we've got there's a balanced formation. And we've got a tight end here and a wide out here. So the strength is to the headline side. So yes, you're right, Terrence. I believe this is the back judge's initial key. Anyway, so yeah, great point. That's why I love bringing you into these, thinking in terms of that's where his eyes started anyway. And once it was no longer a pass play, I guess his eyes would immediately go to the blocking.
Well, in front of the play. We're always looking in front of the play.
Always looking in front of the play. Okay. Okay, this one had a suspect block in the back, and I'll stop it, show you where I questioned it right here. I'm going to back it up and play through. You'll see the player get pushed. The interesting thing, if you can see it on your clip, he doesn't even fall on his face. In other words, he lands on his back, which to me would say it is not a block in the back. Not that it is not a block in the back, but that it is not as suspicious of a block in the back. Plus, if you watch this whole block, he starts on the side, stays on the side. It's a great block.
Well, do we have a flag on it?
No flag.
Okay, good. Good example of keeping the flag in.
But I love Terrence
Hey,
is
Mark,
always saying, whose
are you out
eyes?
there? Yeah, Mark, are you out there? Do you have time enough to get to that block out there, Mark?
As a white hat?
Yeah.
As a referee?
Yes.
Nah, I think that's going to be more wing. It's too wide. Too wide.
Because where are you looking? Where are you looking as this?
So he initially starts into the line and kind of veers out. So I'm trying to look in front a little bit.
In front, where? Can we just Can you make the screen
Can you
big, Kurt?
stop it for a minute? Just stop.
Yep.
Thank you. Stop. So I'm looking at the blocks on 78 on the right side. That stuff right in there. And number
So
7
77 and 78. Is that where you
Yeah.
are?
And number 7 leading that block a little bit. Okay. Now advance it forward a little bit, please. So now I got
So he's still out.
I got 7 that came out of the backfield a little bit. I think that's pretty much going to be the wing there, T.
Oh, okay.
We say that the white hat has ball carrier until the line of scrimmage.
And what am I looking at on the ball carrier?
And if you have no threat to the ball, your eyes should be in front of the ball.
Right.
All right.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, so this is another 2 money line movement. I'm going to take you to the sideline view, and we're going to focus on the top of the screen, our headlinesman. It is third down. Again, it's a 2 money line, so we need, as wings, we need to be aware that if they don't get this line to gain, they might have to kick a field goal or go for it. That's a choice. And so that is a critical line in this down. If it was second down, it's obviously still an important line, but it doesn't elevate itself to money line. So I think in this case, you'll see, in this case, it's important because it's third down or an elevated importance. You'll see our wing make 2 moves, one to the line to gain stake, and then ultimately to the goal line. I don't remember if they score on this or not. I'll slide this up so we don't have to watch so much dead ball. So I don't know if you saw him make both moves.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I like the fact that he paused there and made sure that line was covered first and then got to the goal line. That's a good example of just having to be understanding the game situation, game awareness, guys. So wings, when you're down there and it's you recognize that you got 2 lines, I think it's a good way to pause it.
And so we're inside the 10-yard line, snapping it from about the 7. So wings have the goal line responsibility all the way. I like that. Awareness of that line to gain stake. Is this the one I drew a whole bunch of stuff on?
Nope, there's nothing on this one.
Wonder if yeah, I did draw a bunch of stuff on here. So this, I love this drone footage. And so I want to talk about responsibilities. If we've got some newer officials listening in, you know, if you've seen a kickoff with 5-man mechanics, there's a lot of bodies moving really fast downfield. And so I wanted to point out the importance of breaking down the kicking team into some parts. And so the back judge will be on our left side here. He has responsibility for the middle 3 on their initial contact with the opponent. And obviously that changes as the depth of the kick. And so back judge has got these middle 3. This would be the head linesman is watching the outside 4. The line judge is watching his outside 4, and I'm circling these guys now because they're actually scattered a little bit. This one at the top of the screen just hangs back as probably a safety in this action. But really we're wanting to focus on low blocks in this area, but he has responsibility of those outside 4. And then once the kick is caught, referee, in this case, it's pretty obvious that's his ball. It's not kicked over in front of the umpire or over in front of the head linesman on the left.
Who has the ball right now, Kirk? The guy circled?
The guy circled caught the ball, yes.
Oh, I'm not looking at him.
Well,
Mark, you looking at these 3 guys up here?
Yeah.
Okay.
My comment is you are winding the clock when he catches that kick.
Okay. All right.
My emphasis is that we don't need anybody other than the referee watching who catches that football.
Sure. Okay.
And has ball responsibility. And so That's the catch right at that moment. But
Okay.
I totally agree that once the ball is caught, you no longer need to watch a runner that's not threatened by anything. So the umpire typically has the second wave of contact. That's kind of why I pointed right there. And these collisions, same with our opposite head linesman, watching the action as that second level starts to develop. And my other comment here to end this, and then I'll let Terrence and Mark talk and break this down further if you want. We always talk about when is the spot important, and a kickoff is a opportunity to say, let's just get it close and dead ball officiate. The spot is not as important as dealing with this numbskull trying to make a name for himself, and he gets one shot at making contact, and so we've got to have our head on a swivel after this play is over. You guys got anything else on kickoffs? I can run this through and let the
Let's watch it from that view, Kurt. So let's stop it right there. Stop. Ooh. Oh, you had your annotations in there. Okay. We'll stop on those annotations. So I think sometimes it's easier for me to officiate when I think more in terms of not necessarily guys. I don't want to get locked down into guys too much, but more like what Kurt has drawn here is, groups of players or zones, really. We brought out the initial kickoff responsibilities, but really there's nothing going on until there's a contact there. So I think what Kurt has drawn up here is good indication of, let's look at zones, but the more importantly is the first level is nearest the ball carrier. Would you agree to that, Kurt? Is that your terminology?
Yes.
And the second level is on
No, the other way around. So first level would be,
on the 35.
as that initial contact between K and R, and then there's that back group at about the 20. But this ball didn't go very deep.
Yeah,
so.
But that's okay. But I think we need to have separation there again of understanding that don't get locked into into particular players, but look at an area more so. What's your take, T?
So from a back, I totally agree with you because that's how we handle kickoffs. We work zone. We don't work initial responsibility or guys. So from a back judge standpoint, Kurt, what you were pointing out, the back judge had those 3 guys initially. From a back judge standpoint, I would just work. I'm zoned up in the middle of the field between the hashes. I'm responsible for whatever's in there. And then from the umpire standpoint, would it be okay to say outside the hash to the sideline, you can zone up in there, umpire, and then line judge can do the same thing on the back end? That's how we do kickoffs. We zone up everything on a kickoff.
Yeah, and we could probably do better. I think I just think we could do better.
Because there's just so mmany moving parts.
Yeah,
I'd like to hear. I'd like to hear from our attendees out there. I think if we think more in terms, and this is something would have to evolve to, but more in terms of zone responsibilities, kind of like this is a good shot of a kind of a zone responsibility and understanding where we need to be looking at. Like stop right there. Right there, Kurt. That's a good spot.
Yeah.
I think we need to just understand, maybe divide it into quadrants or something. But I think that's a discussion to keep on top of this spring.
The points of emphasis. Any reason to watch these 3 guys right here at this moment in time?
No,
absolutely not. We're looking for color contact. Even the head linesman at the top of the screen here. I mean, he's focused in on this action. This ball is going to go away from him, and so he has a much bigger angle, view angle to work with. His angle is here, there's no reason to be looking over in this area.
No.
Back judge is probably looking through. He's over here at about the 50.
There might be some overlapping there. You know,
Yep.
I think we go back to something that Scott Saki showed us 2 years ago, or maybe longer than that. But a halo principle, you know, you kind of expand outward, or in this case, maybe inward on a kickoff. Does that make sense? You know, we're focusing down more inward to where the players are grouping up at, and we don't worry about those players that aren't involved.
How much movement as a referee do we take coming upfield? This one, I mean, this play developed really fast because the return man catches it on the run.
Well, I think that's all driven by the ball and where it's caught at, and if it's caught. First, we got to make sure the ball's caught and where it's caught.
One of the things that I would like to emphasize is still eyes. Still eyes are better than running eyes. And even in this case, you know, it looks like the referee is still back at the goal line. The play moved pretty quick away. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think if we're able to focus on the players that are going away from us, it's probably better than trying to bust ass up to stay up with any action.
I'll tell you another thing that I try to work on kickoff coverages. I want my umpire and head linesman, I want them to take as much forward progress as possible. Sometimes we don't keep a cushion between our perimeter guys on kickoffs. Then we have a stacking effect of two officials on top of one another. We need to make sure that cushion is kept between on the back judge side and the line judge side.
Oh, you're talking, the two officials on each sideline should have a cushion between them.
Yeah.
Yeah, not get bundled up on top of each other.
But I like my umpire and head linesman to be aggressive on taking forward progress. Don't give it up easy, guys. Get downfield.
We typically say on our crew that the umpire has the cluster, but once he turns into an open field runner, he turns into in this case, the line judge. And the line judge has him all the way to the goal line. Same really on the other side. Let's go one more. Let's see if we can get Mike Kelly, because this is the punter protection question. And then we'll call it a night. So Mike Kelly, if you're still on, can you unmute yourself? Mike Kelly is...
He's still muted.
Unmuted. Oh, I wonder if I've got to mute somebody else. Miles, I'm going to mute you. No. It won't let me unmute Mike Kelly.
Put him as an attendee and unmute him as an attendee.
Okay, let me try that. It's interesting. I click allow him to talk, and he doesn't. It doesn't shift over to allowing him to talk. There he is. He should have a mic now.
He's not muted. Yeah.
All right, Mike Kelly. We can't hear you. I don't know if you have a mic that's turned down, Mike.
Mike,
So
check Mike. Mike.
So let me state what Mike Kelly sent me in an email. So what we're looking at here is a clip from last Wednesday night, and we made the statement. I say we, Kurt Brower and I made the statement that because this team is going to punt the ball. So this is Columbine, and for some reason their quarterback will take this snap. And instead of just I know what the issue is. It's third down in this particular case. So it's a quick kick. And so the quarterback is going to take the ball, pitch it back to the punter, and the punter kicks the ball. And so on Wednesday night, we talked about that this to be kicker that looks like a tailback right now on third down, we were saying that he is not awarded kicker protection because he was not in scrimmage kick formation at the start of the kick. And Mike clarified that through some rules research that if he is a kicker, he is still awarded protection. I didn't fact check Mike on this, but Mike Kelly is certainly a rules guy, and I would trust what he found on that. So he was challenging our statement that we said the kicker had to be in a kicking formation in order to get kicker protection. He said that is not true. If he looks like a kicker, quacks like a kicker, he is awarded a protection. Now, doesn't mean that the defense doesn't have, if the defense has any doubt, and if it's third down like this, I would imagine there is some doubt that he's going to punt the ball. And I would imagine on this case, he's going to punt it so quick, he's probably not threatened. Go ahead, Mark.
Well, Rick Rouse agrees with Mike Kelly, so
Uh-oh.
it's verified, Dan. It's solid. It's gold.
I'm guessing the Federation will probably send out a ruling in support of those two guys here pretty soon. Now, Mike Kelly did agree that there is no snapper protection because the kicker is not back 10 yards in this case, but did not agree with the fact that we didn't have kicker protection. So, Mike, I hope I summarized that. Apologize with the microphone delay. We are at our end point. Mike and Terrence, thank you for joining us. I probably should have allowed some introduction if you all didn't know Mark Usery and Terrence. We did the Monday night stuff during the season and loved it. And so aside from this being a little blurry, I think these are still powerful as we're holed up in houses and have nothing to watch on television. So, Mark, you want to finish up here, and then I'll let Terrence speak as well.
Go wash your hands.
Terrence, you going to tell us to shower?
No, I can't top that. And wash your hands, shower, be safe. No, I think it was good discussion. I mean, the only thing, we can just start building from tonight, and this can start building off of just play recognition. Let's just keep that as far as a good thought. I think the faster we can recognize plays, the better off we'll be.
So I wanted to share. We've got. I think you saw a draft agenda of the next few nights. We are going to start breaking down the 4A championship game. I also we're gonna talk about trick plays on Thursday night, the 2nd. I actually thought it was April Fool's Day, the 1st of April. Instead, we're on April 2nd, but we're going to pretend like it's April 1st and talk about trick plays. And then at some point, I'm excited, we're going to have the 5A and 4A championship coaches talk a little bit about what they look for in good officials. So we did that a couple of years ago at a referee clinic in Denver. I think there's value in some of these. We can be the best rules and mechanically official there is, but if we are not good with coaches, coaches don't want us out there. So I think they'll share some stuff with us as well. So look forward to that in the next few meetings. And then I'm also, Mark and Terrence, they planted the seed to take a look at the RPO offense. I don't know, Mark, if you saw that email.
Yes, I did.
That we've got some film from Regis, and we're going to learn a little bit more about how that RPO offense works and how we can officiate it better. We see a lot more teams doing that, and I thank Terrence and Mark for pushing us in that direction. So we may do that even on Saturday morning, this next Saturday. We'll record it. So if you'd rather watch cartoons instead of football on Saturday morning. But thank you for joining us. Mark, last word. You got anything?
Go wash your hands.
Wash your hands. All right. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Have
Good
a
night, guys. Thanks, Kirk. Good job.